Sorry, everybody. Not trying to take you on a wild ride there. I forgot to turn on one of my ring lights. So keep staying and keep coming. I'm allowing the social medias to let y'all know that I am live. Tonight, I am live on two social medias. I am live on both YouTube and TikTok. And I'm trying to get up to my table, and I sat on my foot, and it's making it really hard to do that. So, all right. Ugh. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to go to my backup account. And when it tells me I went live, I will log in here. There I am. All right. I can see comments now. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Monique. So tonight is going to be a tutorial night, but it's not going to be a making tutorial night. It is going to be a tutorial about things for making jewelry. So I'm going to hi, Jade. I'm going to let TikTok, because it hasn't let everybody out there. So if you guys can share away and get us 10 shares, can we get 10K on the likes? Hi, Joya, you're on your backup account even. If you guys can do that for me, that will bring in more people and then we'll get started. I do need to grab a couple more things to do it tonight. Sorry, I thought I had them all sitting on my table, but I don't have all the stuff on my table. So, let me get some stuff and I'll be over there. Okay. 49. There we go. Okay. Whoops. I don't want that. I want this. Trying to think of what else I want. I know where that one's at. Oh boy, everybody. This will be a fun one, I think. Got that. I know what I don't have, but that's okay. All right. Because I don't have it. All right. Welcome in, everybody. So, tonight's live is going to be, I titled it Jewelry Making 101. What I wanted to do, and I don't know why on YouTube, it looks like I'm sitting in the dark. See if that helps if I adjust it a little bit. There we go. Maybe if I adjust it a little bit, it won't look like I'm sitting in the dark. All right. So I'm calling it Jewelry Making 101. And it's really, I want to talk about the tools and when you're doing jewelry making, and also the strings supplies that you can have for it. So when I am doing my tutorials, I'll talk a little bit about each tool, but I know, oh yeah, I don't know that I've actually spent a lot of time talking about the tools, what I like about each tool, what I do with each tool, what else you could use. And today, while I was sitting there thinking about what kind of tutorial I wanted to do, I'm like, why don't I just talk about tools and the stringing supplies? So I'm hoping that you guys will like this tutorial today. And it's really literally just geared at what do I use? And so I'm just going to get out my tools that I use all the time. Some of them I use daily. Some of them I use once in a blue moon. Some of them I use way more often than I thought I would ever use them. I think I've got, whoops, I have one more there. And I got a new tool that I haven't really used yet. So I got to learn how to use it. All right, so we're going to start with the tools first. So you guys will hear me call this one chain nose or flat nose, because it's known by both. So I've got one of them on each. So I actually have two of these at all times. If you look in my bead supplies, I have 3 of them. So this one is not, doesn't have the big cushions on it and that type of thing. I do not make jewelry 24/7. And especially now with selling beads and the components for jewelry making, I don't make as much jewelry as I used to. So finding ergonomically correct tools isn't as a high priority for me. So if you're someone that is the casual, jewelry maker, you don't have to get the ergonomically correct. And what I mean by ergonomically correct is that this rounded part, how it sits in the palm of your hand makes a difference. When I make jewelry, I actually cannot wear rings when I do it because the rings bug me when they do that. So sometimes you'll see I take my rings off when I'm making jewelry. But these fit in the palm of my hand very well. But I do not have big hands. And so I can't, a lot of the tools are hard for me to use. So the tools that I use are usually smaller in the width because my hands are really truly not that big. Like I can wear kids winter gloves, like a kid's large winter glove, if that tells you anything. My Hi, Sonia. I might be, I might wear women's small. So I do have smaller hands. The rest of the body, not so much. This, yes. And so, thank you. I did not make bead soup. So for me, these types of pliers are perfect for me. When I have done tool sale days, this is the pliers that I'm selling. It fits my hand. It was what works for me. I literally need you guys to tell me if you need bigger pliers. I can order different sizes. I just happened to order what worked for me. And literally until today, and I thought about what to teach, I never sat there and thought about, I may need to get bigger ones. Joy, you're making me funny with your man hand comment. So literally, if I've sold you something that doesn't fit your hand, let me know. I can order different sizes. But the reason why I say that is find something that is comfortable for your hand. Do not think you need the most expensive plier. If you are someone that is going to be doing jewelry as your full-time business and you're constantly going to be working at creating the jewelry, like if you're going to spend 30 to 40 hours a week making jewelry, and as a small business owner, you do have to dedicate some of your time to doing things other than making the jewelry when you've got a full-time job at doing this. So that's why I say 30. You might want the ones that have the extra padding on there. So I'm just going to let you know, it's up to you guys. You guys just need to let me know what you need. And if I can get it, I will let you know. So this with the chain nose pliers, the one thing that I like personally is the ones that do not have any ridges, that it's smooth in here. The reason being is that when I'm opening up things, if they have the ridges, to me, it mars it up. And I don't want those marks from the ridges on my work. So I always look for, and I'll just show that, open it up. So you see that has no ridges there. That is what I prefer. I know there's someone out on YouTube that does tutorials for jewelry making. She actually prefers the ridges because she feels like she can get in there and it holds what she's trying to make. So it is a preference thing if you're going to have ridges or not. I just prefer not because I don't want it to mar it. So I have a question for you, those of you that are live. Which way do you prefer your tools if you've got them? Do you like them with the ridge or without the ridge for your chain nose? Chain nose, also to let you know, here I'm going to do it this way if you can kind of, I'm trying to see if I can get it to go maybe this way. You'll see it comes to more of a point on there. And that is with there so you can get in there. Okay, people on TikTok are saying without the ridges. I was going to say, YouTube, you guys can comment. You sure can. Okay. And someone over here does have both, and one person does. Yeah, and it's all about it. You can actually put a coating, clear coating on these so that they don't mar, but then you'll lose your ridge. So that's what I was going to say. The other tool, and Joya says, hi, YouTubers. The other tool that I use a lot is the round nose plier. And this one is just where we have that round nose or round part here that I use for when I make my dangles. That's what I pretty much use this for, is making dangles. I did buy, because somebody asked about this, I can get these. They're kind of spendy to buy these. But I can get this where you can make the different size loops that it's in here. I've used this a couple of times. I don't know that I like it as well. You've got 6 different sizes because each one of these is just a little bit different. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. A little bit different, but I don't know if I like it. I've used it once. I need to use it more to decide if I want to. Part of the reason why I don't like it as well is because it is actually heavy compared to this one. I've actually used this pair of pliers, I think, at least 15 years. And I don't know. It's so much heavier. Yep. And so if you're making the bales for your wire wrapping, that's what I saw. But I suck at wire wrapping, so I don't know if it will be beneficial to me. And it's just because I can't wire wrap. But yeah, I want to try it to wire wrap, but it is to me very, very, very heavy. Oh, there you go. Over on TikTok, she ran out of jump rings one day and used some leftover eye pins to make jump rings with it. And it makes it very consistent. So yeah, so there's that one. I do have it, just haven't really used it. Then the other one that I use a ton of is the flush cutter. So with the flush cutter that I use, if you guys notice, it's got the tips that come to a point. We don't have the rounded edges on each side. It's straight. We have the flush on the back side. So when it is straight there, I love my flush cutter. I love this style of flush cutter. It is my favorite. The ones that have the rounded, I can't get in really close to where I'm going to cut stuff, whether it be a head pin or my wire or any of that kind of stuff. If I'm just cutting, like here I got stretchy and I just want to cut it, it works. Hi, Maria. I hope you had a great trip. It works fine for that because I don't need, you know, the ones with the rounded because I don't need to get in there. But when I'm going to cut off my piece of wire, I want to get in there and get as close to it as possible. Oh, thank you, So Lucky, for the heart, man. Thank you for the follow. And so that's what I love about this one is that it gets in there. This is my favorite cutter. I have gone through numerous cutters. And if you look at this one, you will see if I can show it to you. Right about there, you can see a nick in the blade. And I always say I keep getting that spot. Someone said I could, you can get those out and keep using them. I just need to have Ryan do that for me. My husband, I want him to like do it for me. But I buy these all the time. I have them everywhere in my bead room. I love these flush cutters. I have just about as many pairs of these types of flush cutters as I do my chain nose pliers. The other one I don't use as much anymore because what I found, I use it more for making my necklaces when I do beaded necklaces. But I found that when I would do my in-person shows, that my actual stretchy bracelets sold better than the wire bracelets. So, but I have, and I've had this pair of crimp pliers since I started. These are 18, almost 19 years old. They haven't died yet. No, I say that and then they're going to die. But the crimp pliers, you have the two there and there. Or over here on, so you see I have the 2 holes. Those are what you use to do your crimps. Yeah, knock on wood. And whoops, here I have wood. There we go. But I have extra pairs here because when I used to do a lot of in-person teaching, I don't do it as much in person anymore. I have a whole bunch of pairs here that are used that if these die, I have a pair at least, but these have lasted. And then what I got for me to resell is identical to these. So hopefully they'll last as long as these have for me, but I love them. I like making wire bracelets. I don't have a wire one on, but before Miss Jade, I got yours on, my Swarovski one, and then I have my one that's my, oh golly, my link here, connector. But I do 2 stretchies. Before, I used to always have one. I always had this stretchy. I had this one, and then I always had one with a toggle, the wire. But I love this one. So I switched it up. I wear 3 bracelets most of the time. And it used to be always one of them was a wire bracelet. I don't mind having a wire bracelet, but for some people, they're really hard to put on. And Zuli sells a little tool to help you get them on. Anybody who knows who Zuli is, she's Zuli Bella Boutiques on TikTok, and she has these little connector or little bracelet helpers to help you put bracelets on. So that's one. Then this is one of my favorite tools. It is a nylon plier. I need to either replace these little nylon pieces, which you can do, because there's little screws right here. I just got to buy them. And then you can replace them. So you don't have to buy the whole new tool. You just buy the new pads, because these are wearing out, as you can see. I've had these probably about 16 years. So they can wear out. But like I said, knock on wood again. Had these for a long time. I did not have these in the very beginning. What I use these for mostly is for straightening wire and for like whenever I've tried to do, I have tried numerous times to do wire wrapping. I stink. So I use them like if whenever I've tried to wire wrap and you want to straighten it out again, nylon pliers will allow some of them to go straight again. When I have purchased head pins, because I just figured this part out, when I would order head pins, they come in a bag and they are not always straight. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Hi, girl. I was going to say, I will share all kinds of tips and tricks with you guys. That's what I'm here for. So if you're over here on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to me. I will have all kinds of tutorials, and we have chat nights. This is a tutorial night, and usually I show you how to make something, but I thought I'm going to talk about tools and then the stringing supplies tonight. So, but just to let you know, Teresa, what I do with these is, like I said, I straighten out my wire when I've done a wire wrapping and it stinks because I stink at wire wrapping. Or the other thing is those head pins, when I would get them and they're all janky, rather than not being able to use them, I use these to straighten them. So it really helps with anything that is wire. I don't recommend stainless steel trying to get those because stainless steel is very hard to get straight again. But if you have another base metal, these work great for it. The other things that I really, when I found out you could have this, and this pair here is probably 15 years old. And then I can't find this exact pair. So then I ordered these from my suppliers. Nope, they do not scratch. So yep, that's what's cool about them. I ordered this one from my supplier, and I've been using it to make sure it's just as good as this one, because I don't want to sell you something that I don't like. This is what is called a split ring plier. And you see here at the top where we have this little nook that comes down, you put that between the two split rings at the one end, not quite at the tip, but just a little bit back, and it opens up your split rings for you, and you don't have to hurt your nails opening split rings anymore. It really, 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 really saves that underskin part here on your thumb when you're opening those. I love it. I can do a lot more, not hurt my hands, because I would hurt my hands, and I didn't want to do anything making that because it wasn't fun to be in pain. I mean, we're not talking really bad pain, but you don't want any pain. So that is when I got these split ring pliers. And this pair, when we were having a craft day with my friends, somehow or another, one of my friends accidentally walked off with this pair, and I about cried. There are other pairs out there that don't work as well. And I don't know why, because this one has a little like notch on the top here, and then that. This one just has always worked perfect. And I bought a different pair that have red handles that don't work as well. So that's why I said, if I'm going to sell something, I want to use it. And so this one here, I've been using this since I bought these. It works just like this one. Either one of these I recommend. And I don't know why some of them don't work, but that's just the way they are. And these are beadsmith, if I remember right. Let me look. We got a lot of light. Yep, this pair is beadsmith. My red ones are beadsmith. Don't know. So, I mean, it can be the same brand. And don't ask me why one works better than the other. But I'm going to go grab my red handled ones because I keep them away so I don't accidentally grab them. So hold on. They are both Beadsmith, but these red handles have turned colors. They don't, and I don't know if it was because this one doesn't have that loopy thing at the top, but this pair does not work. I hate using this pair. And if you look at this one, you'll see it has a little notch at the top. So in Beadsmith, you can get both of these. I would not recommend this style. I would recommend this style. Or I do not know if I have any in stock, or these. This one works too. So between them, I keep these two in my tools. This one, he's not in my tools. He's in a different area of my bead room. So whenever I would lose this one before I bought these, he would be my backup, and I just hated using him. Honest to gosh, I will tell you the ins and outs of what I like. So I need to check and see if I have any of the split rings. I don't have a lot of tools on hand. When I was thinking about this, I'm like, I should have known. I should have probably ordered tools in case you guys wanted them on a live. I can get them. I just don't have a lot right now. Getting tools shipped to the United States from the suppliers overseas is hard. Of all things, it is one of the hardest things to get. Oh yeah. So yes, I would 100%. If I've got these, I can let you guys know. I will have to check though. I would, I love them. Especially when you got the 6mm, you are not killing your fingers. I would have nicks in my fingers. I would have them, the red lines underneath my nails. Oh, hated it. I don't remember. Let me just double check. Whoops, I'm going to the wrong spot. Hold on here. I'm going to look and see if Sonia got some gold chain. I'm thinking you did, but I'm not 100% sure. You did. You got 3 meters. Okay, sorry. Looking that up for someone. Yep, you did 3 meters. So we're good. The next thing that if you use memory wire, pay for this cutter. You're welcome. Because you do not want to use your flush cutters to cut memory wire. It will nick them really bad. It will also possibly break them, depending on your flush cutters. So memory wire cutters are these big industrial ones. And remember I told you about find pliers that fit your hand? Do you see? This one doesn't fit my hand very well. But it's all I can find is this size. I do not use memory wire very often, so I'm okay with that. I use these maybe once every month or two, so I'm okay. But it is almost too big for my hand, and when I go to use them, I feel like I have to like halfway close them before I can even put it on the wire to get my hand on there. Yep. So you can do these memory wire cutters, and I have looked into ordering them. This is the one thing I cannot get, is a memory wire cutter. I went and ordered what they had on stock, and let me show you what they are if I have them on my table. I looked at them and I'm like, really? That doesn't do me any good. And I don't even know what I did with them. Is it in here? Nope, it's not in there. The only ones they have are miniature ones. And the miniature ones are too small. It's hard to cut the memory wire. So I do recommend getting a good cutter that you can get in there and cut. But I cannot get them from my suppliers, just to let y'all know. They are not, I would go and look at like Amazon or that type of thing. My husband was like, hey, why did you buy these? I bought these before I met him. Um, but he's like, you could have just got a wire cutter. Yep. Jade just said she had her husband pick some up from some cutters from Harbor Freight. It's okay. I would recommend that too. So, if I've got stuff from Harbor Freight, I always forget what this is called. My husband picked this up from Harbor Freight for me. And this is what I close my tips for my cord with this tool. I always forget what it's called. He can tell me and I forget every single time. But yeah, so you can buy them from a different supplier. You can go to the store, but wire cutters, or the memory wire, you're going to want wire cutter standard. Yep. Yeah. Well, and when I wanted this, so my husband had this in his shop and he's like, this is what you need to finish those off, because I was using something else and they kept pulling off and I was getting frustrated. Um, Oh yeah. How about I do that? I don't have anything on Saturday planned, Joya. So let me do Memory Wire on Saturday and it will be recorded if you can't make it, because I know that's your fun day. Is that okay? Because you do YouTube, right? But he got to go to Harbor Freight and pick these up for me. He was all excited because I didn't want to use his because his were greasy, but we used them to make sure. Okay, good. But don't ask me what the name of this thing is. And I use them for my end tips for my cords to mush them up. And that's the best word I have for them, is that I just push it down and it creates this good, it closes everything up nice and tight. So, and the last tool I was going to show you today, I have two different sizes of it. It is the big, I call them big loopers. I know they're not big loopers. They're the one-step looper is the real name for them. But the reason why I call them the big looper is because, look at, they do not fit in my hands. Oh, yep, you're going to have to watch the replay then. But tell your grandbaby happy birthday. She'll be like, I don't know who that is, and I don't remember this day, but hey, you got to love it. These are too big for my hand, and so when I use these, I have a hard time using them. I use them a little bit. I don't use them as much as I probably could, and the reason being is that they are too big for my hands. This is the only sizes, like this is it. They come in different sizes. So this one makes a 1.5 millimeter loop. And this one makes a 3 millimeter loop. Oops, there we go. So that one says 3. And they also have like 2.25. Those are the ones that I know of. And all you do is you stick your head pin in and stick it out the side, push it together, and it makes the loop. And I use the 1.5 the most. I hardly ever use my 3 millimeter. And they're not, I will tell you, they are not cheap. I don't know another word to say it. They're not inexpensive. How about that? They are a spendy investment. But the thing is it can save you so much time. Hi, Tiny's Creations. And so if you're someone that has a hard time making the loops using the round nose pliers, this is it. You do have to make sure that you close up the top, because it does leave a little bit of a hole at the top between the two wire pieces, and you want to make sure that's closed so you don't lose your piece on what you're making it for. But yes, this saves you time and frustration. I just happen to be able to do those. I could do the loop in my sleep. I make jewelry, and today we're doing a tutorial on all the tools and stringing supplies that you can use for making jewelry. We do tutorials twice a week. We do chat nights twice a week, bead sales once a week, jewelry sales once a week, and I go live a second time on Friday, and Friday it goes back and forth between jewelry and beads. So if you are someone that's into jewelry making, go ahead and follow me and join me. I would normally say, and will tell you guys this, I normally say I go live Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m., so join me tomorrow night. I found out at 10 a.m. today that Buttercup, that is what we call my granddaughter on social media, is Buttercup. We don't say her real name. She is having a concert tomorrow night. So it was supposed to be a chat night tomorrow night, but I'm going to go to Buttercup's concert instead. Sorry, everybody, but she's priority. So I'm just excited. We get to go to our first like singing concert. She's a second grader. I'm just so excited we get to go. This is the first one. They didn't do them before for her grades, so I am going to go have fun with that tomorrow night. So we are going to go see her. Do you know how excited I am? I get to see her twice in 1 week now. Went from seeing her every day to once in a blue moon, and now twice in 1 week. So I'm excited. Sorry, you guys, if you're new, I am excited about my granddaughter, if you couldn't tell. We only have one, and so, yeah, we spoil her. So, so those, oh, I have one more tool I almost forgot about. And this is one, it's called a bead stopper. So how this is used is that you pinch together, open it up, and you've got the coils that open, and you put your wire or your, whatever you're using for stringing in between, and then just let it go. You can get these with no tabbies on here this way. There's some that you can get like little pieces of like, all I can think of is plastic, but that's not the right word. Little grippers on it. You can get small mini ones. You can get these in different sizes. You don't have to use a bead stopper. You can use just straight old Scotch tape even for it. You just fold it in half on the wire or the string cord, and when you need to pull it off, you just pull it off. And you finish out your project. But you always want to have something on one end so you don't lose your beads off of that end. I almost forgot one other thing. Bead mat. No matter what you're doing, a bead mat is really helpful. And the reason being is you put it down with where you're working at. Yep, you can use binder clips, whatever you want. I've seen people use the binder clips. I've seen people use paper clips. I've seen the bead stoppers. I've seen the Scotch tape. It's whatever you can use to put on the end so you don't lose it and get frustrated and upset and stop beading just because you didn't have it. So figure out something that you can do that. But yeah, I love mine. And I have an entire drawer of these because I'll have multiple projects going at one time when I used to bead all the time for all my in-person shows. And so I would start something and then I would get interrupted, or I would be frustrated with working on it, and I would put it aside and just leave it. I've gotten a lot better. I've been making jewelry for years now. I've gotten a lot better about not leaving my projects, that I finish them. And if I don't finish it, I just take it off and start over, because I will probably not come back and finish it. That's who I am. Other people are different, but that's who I am. So we have the bead mat to not have your beads run all over on your table. You put this down on the table or your tray, whatever you're doing it on, and your beads don't roll around as much as like on a table. Or even here, I have a tablecloth on my table, and they will run around on that too. So I truly 100% love my bead mat. Now, we're going to get into stringing, and then I'm going to go back to a tool after the stringing, but it'll help understand why when I say it this way. So I'm going to get some of the tools off of my big spot here and bring the stringing stuff up. So hold on. So for wire, hey, I still have the price on this one, but I have had this for a long time, so I have no idea what the price is now. Wire, you can get 7 strand, which is what I have here. This one is a 21 strand, even though it doesn't have the little plastic or this thing on it. And then here I have 49 strand. There are different strands. So this one, when you have 7 strand, this is all beading wire. I don't know if any of you, oh, thank you, Michelle, for the friendship necklaces. Yep, 49. I love my 49. This one, you may also hear it being called tiger tail. Tiger tail is 7 strands, and it isn't that flexible. It can be used as long as your project doesn't need to be flexible. So that is what a 7 strand is going to be. 49 is actually going to give you the most flexibility. And what the difference between all the strands is that there is either 7 20, and you can also get 19, but I always get 21. So there's going to be 7, 19, 21, or 49 strands of wire woven together. The more wires that you have, the more flexible the wire. And what I mean by flexible is how the wire moves. Like this one is really super flexible. It doesn't matter what the diameter of it is. Like this one will tell you that this is a 0.018 inch diameter or a 0.48 millimeter. You can have a different dimension to the circumference of the wire, and that doesn't matter. The flexibility is how many pieces of wire there is in it. So if you've ever had wire, so like if I go, I'm going to put this back on there so it doesn't accidentally fall off. This one here, do you see how we have it in here? What's going to happen is that normally, don't ask me why this one didn't, but normally you'll have a little kink in it. And if you have tiger tail, it really will have a kink in it, just to let you know. So and it won't go straight. It will always have that kink in it. So your 7 will be more kinky than your 49. The flexibility, do you see how this one doesn't flex as much as that 49? And I'm doing the same pressure. I can't get it to wave as well. That's the difference between the 7. The 21 will be a little bit more, and I cannot find my end on this one. Oh, this is a brand new roll, so I have to find it. So I'm not going to show you that one or this one. Where do you get the wire? So for me personally, Lynn, I order from overseas a lot of my supplies and buy them in bulk. So that's why these do not have a sticker on them, is because I bought them in bulk. I don't know if I have wire on my website, but you can buy, like here, you'll see, I bought this one years ago at Hobby Lobby. I don't use 49 very often. I usually use the 21 strand. This one, I would have bought it Hobby Lobby or Michael's years ago. I don't use the 7 strand very often. I can't even tell you when I bought this. I don't even know why I bought 7 strand. And it's because it's not flexible. So if that helps you out on the different beading wires and what the numbers truly mean. I know we talk when we do my lives and I'm saying I have 21 strand and you can buy it in 7 or 49, but I don't know that I've ever taken the time to say, what's the difference? Let me see if I can get it to come out. See, it's like stuck back here. That's why I'm like, yeesh, maybe I can get it from here. Hold on. He is a brand new roll. So see, 29, you can get the wave going better than the 7. So does that make sense? So it really comes down to, there's a lot more of little wires all woven together to give you that flexibility. That's what those are. And I also use a 49 strand when I have heavier objects, because it flexes better. When you have the heavier ones, you don't want them to be so stiff that it breaks the wire. And it is a lot more expensive for 49 than it is for 21. Like, I can't even tell you when I bought this. This would have probably been 10 years ago that I bought this, and it was $11.27 then. Whereas the the 21 strand at that time was probably $5.99. So for half the price almost, I was going with the 21, because I did a lot when I was back 10 years ago doing a lot of in-person shows, and I wanted to be able to make sure I had the best quality at the price point that I was selling at. For my business, my business, I can't think of what they are. My customer, there is a word for it in the marketing world, and I cannot think of the word right now off the top of my head, is that I am selling to someone that is, in that 18 to 80 age range, that is a person that wants to change out their jewelry for every season. So my price points are lower so that you don't have to spend as much money because you're going to change it out. It's not vendor is the word I'm looking for. My customer... There's a customer something, and I can't think of what the word is. It's a marketing term. My Ideal customer is not the right word for it either. My target market. That's the words. My target market. Holy fucking, it took me a while to get there. Thanks everybody for trying to help me get there, and I finally got there. All right, you're making phone charms. So for phone charms, I didn't bring out my wire. If you are you gonna crimp your phone or your phone charms there, Lynn, or are you going to wire wrap? That will make a difference on how I will answer the question, is how are you finishing them out? Because everybody makes phone charms a little different. Okay, so in my thought on the phone charms is that you would do the wire wrapping. Oh, you're crimping yours too? Oh, you're using elastic. Okay. So for those, I would probably do the 49 for the phone charms if you're going to use a crimp on them. If you're doing the elastic, I would say that you would want the 1 millimeter Stretch Magic is a brand name of it. It is a clear elastic. And I was just going to go into that next. So I buy mine in bulk. And you can't tell, it doesn't have the thing on it. It's like dyed. But this is what I have for my stretch. It is just a crystal clear stretch. Yep. This one is a 0.8. You can buy this anywhere from 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 1.0, 1.0, or 1.5. And that's the millimeter diameter of the stretch. So if you are going to do something that, you know, is going to be like having heavier beads, I go with the bigger ones. Oh yeah, and I've done phone charms for my nieces. I don't do them very often. I don't sell them. I've got kits out there for them. I just don't do them a lot. At least I think I have the kits for the phone charms. But depending on what you're using them, I actually have and I don't know what they're called. And I can go grab them here if I can find them quick. But what I do for mine, crap. I'm using both my cell phones, so I can't do it. But on your cell phone case, there's usually holes, and then you put in this item and you wrap it around there, and it works on those. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. I gotta go grab it. I just gotta figure out where I put them. Can't find them in my closet because I don't use them very often. I don't know if you guys could hear me talking in my closet, but I was talking to you. Oh no, that's not good. Let me see if I have some in one of my bead trays here. Hold on. I think I have it in the bead tray. I can't find my big container of them in my closet. There they are. I knew I had some in a tray. Okay. Yep, there's holes in there. So what you do, this is what I do for my cell phone charms, is that you have this little, and then there's a circle here. This part goes around your cell phone case and back through like that, and it holds on to one of your holes in your cell phone case. And then you create a dangle, and then you create that dangle that we've got for like the earring dangle tutorial. This is another thing that you can use for those. I don't know if you guys want these or not. I know I have a whole bunch of them. I just got to find them in my bead room. In the closet. I'm in the bead room. They're in my closet in the bead in here. I have some of those. I have like a lot of them because I bought them for, okay, I can bring them up in one of my bead sales here shortly. Um, I bought them for one of my nieces, and then another niece wanted them, and so I made them for them. I just never sold them. And I have I have the some kits with them with ceramic beads on them, I believe. So yeah, but that's what I do for my cell phone charms. But everybody does them differently. I have seen people do them where they'll use these and then have a really long one on there. I've seen them where they use wire and then they will wire it to their cell phone case. You can do all kinds of different things. I can't remember what these are called. I will have to look that up. But all it is I call them the loop dangle. I don't know why, but I will look it up and tell you. I just don't know off the top of my head what they're called. We'll get those. So that's what I use. I was going to go back to our stretchy cord as one of them. So stretch cord, you can also get what is called Crystal Tech, I believe. That's similar to this. It just has a different little bit of like the molecular of the plastic in there is a little bit different. Hi, Mia. And so they may tie differently, but it is really truly in all the research that I did, that's the difference between them. There isn't really a lot of difference. It's just a preference if you want to use the brand like Stretch Magic or the Crystal Tech. It really truly is a personal preference. So that's what I use a 0.8 more times than not of the stretch cord, and I buy it in bulk, like a big, huge. I'm almost out. This is all I have left. I will have more coming. I have another one of these coming, and it should be here Friday. My ship beads in that order that went on this ship in a shipping container made it to the United States, and it's on its way here. So this one, I don't know. It didn't have like I know it is not Stretch Magic. I've lost the end of it. So it looks like this on both ends. So I don't have it anymore on here because I've had this for a couple of years. But this is what I use all the time. And I'm getting more of it because I'm almost out. So yeah, I literally buy it in bulk. It's like 10,000 meters or something like that at a time, which I know most of you are not going to use 10,000 meters at one time, but we do have it. And when I get it, I will look at what it says on there if they have it, because I do buy it from overseas from the suppliers. And I can let you guys know. I do have it. I did take it down from my website for ordering of it because this is all I have, and I didn't want to sell it when I don't have it available. So I will be getting more, and that will be available after next week. When I actually get that physical order in my hands, then I can sell that stretch cord again. You can do the stretch elastic, it's called. I actually do not have the stretch elastic because I personally don't like it. And that is my personal preference. If you guys like working with it, and some of you do, go for it. I just don't like how sometimes it frays. And it just has to do with the elastic part of how it's made. And because of that, I just don't use it. A lot of people love to use it because they can hide the knot a lot better than they can hide the knot with this one. I am one that always says, I don't hide my knots. Reason being is that the knots will come out if you're stretching with your bracelet. Like if you're anything like me, I sit here and fiddle with my bracelets throughout the day when I'm wearing them. My knots move. It doesn't stay inside a bead. So I never hide the knot. My personal preference, 100% my personal preference, I don't hide them. I know people do try to hide them and stuff, and they can try, but I literally cannot get mine to stay inside in the holes. So that, and I just don't like the stretch part, that it shreds. You do have to more than likely use a needle when you do the stretch elastic. I don't use needles, so I don't have any to show you of what the thinner needles look like. Some people use a piece of this wire and just fold it in half and make it a needle. I just have never. See, and I can't, I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, there's the knot. Okay. It doesn't bother me. Some people it does. And it really, truly, Jade, just like Jade's saying here, she's got to move them back every time. It is 100% a personal preference. And I'm just going to tell you, that's it. And, you know, we're all okay. We also don't all tie ours together the same way, and that is fine. But when I do use my stretch, or, you know, this, I do use hypo cement glue, and that is upside down. There we go. I do use hypo cement glue to dab glue on there, and that just holds my knot. Some people are gluers and some are not. Once again, it's a personal preference. Just like all the tools I'm telling you about, you have to find what works for you. There are tools that we need, but the brand I use may not be the brand you use. And that is okay. I want us all to know we can all have our favorites. And you know what? You can shout your favorites from the rooftop, and I'm okay with it because that might help someone else out. Honestly. Yep. I have a hard time getting it to stay in there is what I have a hard time with. And I don't want to glue it and then put it in there and have it glued inside a bead. I just don't like, just personal preference. Other types of things that you can do for the, you know, I do use, this is a faux leather cord. I use this for my necklaces a lot. You can use this for bracelets and you can tie it. It comes in, this is a 2mm size. It comes in 1mm. It comes in 1.5 to 3 millimeters. So the different sizes you can do different things with. And remember, I was talking about this tool that I use to clamp down the ends. It's the ends to this that I use that tool for. I will put a little metal clamp on the end and smush it together so that it just lies flat but keeps it all together. And then I put a split ring, and I have to have my split ring tool to put it on there, and then I'll put a lobster clasp on one of the split rings. You have to use a 2mm size bead hole or bigger to do these. I will tell you, Jade, it's not always about the clamps for these types of necklace. It's this hunkin' tool. Because I used to use this tool to try to get them to shut. I've tried using my crimp pliers to get them to shut. But once Ryan said this plier is what you need, and what it does here, I'll show you. I'm trying to get so you both see it on both of them. You see how you have a thing here and then this coming down? When it comes together, it just clamps it all together. So you take the open end of that piece, and let me see if I can find one really quick so I can show you. Because I know I have some of them in one of my trays. I'm going to put away these. But I just don't know which tray it's in. Oh, Lordy, where did I put them? Not that one. Now watch, I don't have any of these, which would be funny because I thought I did. I'm not seeing them really quick. Oh, here they are. I knew I had some in here. Whew. I use these tubes. And do you see how this is open right here? I put the open end in the bottom circle. And I get it positioned in here so that you don't have this end hanging out this side. And then you just smush it together and it makes, so hi Melinda, all of my pendant necklaces, like the glass pendants, are all made on that cord. And this is what I use to finish them off with. So yes, I love those tube ones. That's what I use for those. And this tool makes the difference. And I know Ryan will tell me, I think he calls it a wire cutter. I do not know. Harbor Freight is for this. Yes. I have no idea the cost. He bought it for me and just gave it to me. So I have no idea what the cost was. You know, it's one of those where I think it was around Valentine's Day and he said, here's a tool. And I was like, I love you. All right, Melinda, we'll see you in a moment. So if it made my life easier for my beading and my husband took the time to do and find it for me, it brought me joy. And that's what life is about. So that's what I use this cord for. I also have put beads on those. So if you guys have seen where if you've won from me on the giveaways or purchased from me, the ceramic beads that are just a ceramic bead with maybe a couple of beads around it on black cord, that ceramic bead had 2 millimeter hole and I put it with this. So it takes a larger one bead to put them in there. But I did find out you can't use this for the wristlets that you use with the silicone beads or the key rings. This does not work for that. There is a nylon that works better. From what I've watched and stuff, my nylon is in the order that's being shipped. And so when I get that order, I am going to restring some of my nylon stuff and retry that on using nylon for those wristlets. So like I've got one here. So what I mean by those are this type of thing. And so once I get that nylon in, we will bring this one back and we will try redoing these. And also in that order is also the rings, the split rings that have the large lobster clasps on them. So I'll be having those too. It's in that same order. So then we can see about finishing up some of these with the right style of supplies. So I just thought I would have that a lot faster. When it goes by cargo ship, it takes over a month to get here. Those shipped about 5-6 weeks ago. So I'm still waiting. Oh no, Miss Joya. So that's what I use for a lot of what I have done. The one thing that I wanted to show you before we end for tonight is, and I'm sorry I hit the table with my chair, and that makes you guys wiggly, beading trays. I have 2 different beading trays here. When I started being on TikTok, someone suggested this beading tray to me for bracelets. I don't use it very often, but I stopped using beading trays a lot. I actually just lay it down on my table, on my bead mat when I create. It's just faster for me than trying to pick them off of a beading tray. But the one thing that I wanted to show you about this beading tray, so right now, the layered necklace look is really, really in. So here, if you start at 0 at the bottom, which is right here, you can go all the way up. And if you did the 20 or 13 here and 13 here, you can make a 26-inch necklace for the first layer. And then if you did up to here, it goes to 10.5. So that would be 10 and 21 inches. I don't know if you want 5 inches between the layers though, but you can. And then your third layer, you can go a little bit shorter and have that in there. And you can go from one side to the other side. And you can make that layered necklace with this tray. It makes it easier. Oh, yes, I do. And some people love the wood ones. I've not purchased a wood one. I haven't gotten one as a freebie either because some of the scoops, because I don't do scoops, everybody. I've done them a couple of times, but I don't do them very often. But sometimes on the scoops, if you do a large order, you'll get the wooden ones for free. I just have never ordered enough to get one free. And I've never purchased one. I just use my table, my bead mat, and I have, you guys will see me pull out my ruler. I measure everything on this ruler. If you guys have watched like Zuli or if you've watched Alma, and there's a couple other, they have those measuring tapes like you would have that have the zzz. They're just the small ones. And when you do them, they go click, 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 zzz, and then you push the button and they go back in. You can use those. Oh, I have never tried one. I've tried to use this one, and it's just so hard to pick up the beads for me that I'm like, it's easier. So you got to find what works for you and makes it most enjoyable. You don't want to create work for yourself. We want to have fun when we're creating. So as you guys know, I usually just have them sitting back here and I talk about them every once in a while, but I don't use those bead trays. So maybe someday I'll invest in a wood one and see if I like them or not, but I don't know. And as you saw, the bracelet one had different sizes. So you can make different sizes because not everybody has the same size wrist. So you're going to want to, if you're going to resell, you're going to want some in all the different sizes available for people. So that is what I use for tools and for stringing supplies. Oh, that's it? Okay, maybe I need to go there. Someone got it on what we'll just call the T website. So those of you over on YouTube, someone, you can't say it, I guess, on TikTok, so we can't say the name of it, but they went to the T website and got one for $12. You just have to wait a little bit to get it, but it's worth the savings. Because sometimes I'm thinking those are like $50 to $100 a piece from when I priced them out. And I was like, holy wow, I don't know if I want to invest in that if I'm not going to use it. So that's been why I probably have not bought one, is because I don't want to spend that much money on something I don't know if I'm going to use. $15 or under, I'm okay trying it out. 50 or 100, no. That's just who I am. Yeah. And usually you get one of them. It's the wooden bead trays that you can do for your neck or for your bracelets. And I do not have one. So, and what I use to actually test out what my actual size of my bracelet is this. It is called a Easy Bracelet. And what it is that it comes flat. You put it the circle, and it's got the measurement of the inside diameter of the bracelet. And that's how I measure mine, is because the different size beads, if I measure them out on my ruler, is different than this. Oh, you printed yours off of, I got mine off of Pinterest also, but mine's plastic. I didn't print it. They mailed it to me flat. And then there is like two-sidedness here that you did it. And then I taped it. And I spent like $5 for it. And I've had it for probably, I'd say about 8 years. He's getting a little bent up here. He's got a little bit of tears there. But Melinda printed it off of Pinterest for free. Nona has closures that have a bar that goes across the end. I can't get my wire or string to go around the bar. Does the bar have a hole in it? Are you talking about like the toggle closures, Nona? I didn't even open my pop yet. I'm waiting to see if Nona is going to answer here. And I found out yesterday TikTok was really, really, no hard. Oh. Yep, we call it pop here. Okay. I was going to say, you'll have to take a picture of that, Nona, and like email it to me. To get to the email, if you go to my CJS logo, go to the link tree. And the second one is my website. Go all the way to the bottom and there's a contact us so that you can email me and then do a picture of it so I can see what it is. Because it's not hitting me how to do it. I would love to help you out. The bead cases behind me are, this is what they look like. They are called bead storage solutions. I always have to look at it. I have my tag on the back of it here. They come in different sizes. You have the large ones. You have medium. You have small. And you can get tinies. You can get a tray with an assortment of all of those, or you can get a tray that is all tinies. They are not inexpensive. They vary in prices. I would say Google and look where you can find the best deal. They're Elizabeth Ward Bead Storage Solutions. I am going to put it in the comments from my backup account. It took me between 2 and 3 years to get enough to be able to do this. So there's that. The clear ones here, I have different kinds. See if I can grab one here. These two are the same. These are from Menards. They are just in your in the section at Menards where you can get the trays for like the nuts and the bolts and that type of thing. And these are, I don't want to, there's little holes here that you can take and put these dividers in. So you get to, as you can tell, I'm going to shut it so I can show you because I don't want to spill my beads all over from that one. Yep, exactly. For fishing boxes or that. So you can make like bigger ones. You can make the smaller ones. This one has some blanks. So you get to make your sizes. What I don't like about these is that if you're lifting the beads out, you can't use the where the dividers are, or they will come up and your beads will mix. So I use these for like my kids' beads and stuff. Or like here we have, I've got wooden beads in here. Oh, I just saw something from Miss Zuli. Look at this. These are wooden beads, butterflies. I think Miss Zuli would love those. We got the wooden flowers. So you can change them up. These are just crosses. So I have all different kinds of beads in here. And they just have these closures on them. I also have some that are, try to find one that's not like that. These are not all the same. So I'm trying to find one that is not the same. You know what you can get at, oh, this one is. This is what you get at like the craft stores. I've got those two back here. But I label everything. Oh, wow. So, yep, I'm glad you're getting back into it, Cindy. So literally that is what I've got going on back here is just I've sorted them out by different colors and the different, like these are glass, this is porcelain, gemstones, wood, pearls, porcelain, and blue, acrylic. I sort them out that way. Everybody can sort differently. Not everybody can work with the beads this way. My sister cannot work with them in the bead trays. She wants just a pile of beads, hand them to her, and she'll make with that pile of beads that you just handed her. Yes, I do. So like, I have them separated out. In this container is what I call bead findings. So I'm going to put the lid on it so it doesn't spill. So all different kinds of findings. So I have metal tubes. I have lobster clasps. I have circles that I'm going to use. I have cages. Those end caps are in here. There's bales. There's the ribbon, what I call the ribbon closures, like these, so that you can end a ribbon or, you know, a piece of material. All my findings are in a few trays. And then all my beads, like silver beads, are in another tray. Gold is in different trays, along with like black gunmetal. And then your antique bronze, your antique gold, and all of those, they're all separated out. And then there's some that are the rainbow metals, like that coating on the metal, and I have those separated out. My wire, I just leave like this, and I put it in a little bucket. This is just in a, just sits out all the time like this. My chain I have in bigger plastic containers because I buy my chain in bulk. So like I will get a big bulk of it and it'll be either 50 or 100 meters. And these are all in containers in my closet in my bead room. I really wanted to have my husband put up a piece of like awning or whatever, you know, your eaves or whatever on my wall, and then it could all be there and I could just grab it, but he didn't want to put that on there. He was like, no way am I putting holes in the wall for that. You have to understand, my husband doesn't put holes in walls for pictures. We do not have a lot of pictures hanging up in our house because he doesn't want to put holes in our walls. That's just the way he is. You know what, Jackie? I have been doing jewelry since 2005. It took me many years to get to this one and many iterations of what worked for me. Everybody works differently. My sister cannot work with organization like this. Literally, it's hard for her. She wants just a box of beads and she'll start pulling them out of there. We got to 10K. Whoop, whoop. Thank you, Jade. And so I would say everybody does it differently and we're not all in one. The dowel, the reason why I don't want to do the dowel, because I thought about that, or a big rod, is because once you start spinning it, I had ribbon on a dowel and then all my other ribbons went down. And the same thing would happen with the chain. So that's why I don't want to do that. So I just keep it in a tub and I bring out my little tub. And I mean, when I mean a tub, it's like probably like 15 inches high, not even 2 feet wide. So we're going to do a number tonight between 1 and 50. So go ahead in the comments, go between 1 and 50 on the comments, and whoever gets it right first is going to win a piece of jewelry, because I didn't do bead soup today. I'm trying to try to find, we'll do that one, because that one is a springy color. I got a necklace that's in a springy color. Oh, somebody got it already. Let's see who it is. I'm going to reveal, and the reveal is Miss Jade. You got it. There we go. It was number 37. So it is a long necklace that has a tassel with the seafoamy color bead. So there you are. Congratulations, Miss Jade. Let me write that down. There's my Sharpie. All right. Thank you. That is yours. Yes, I did make that. We did this in a class to learn how to make the tassels. So I make, and that's what, if you guys had joined me on the last couple of lives where we had some larger bead caps, they were so that we could do, Jade, Joy, you cracked me up. It is beachy color. But you need the larger size to get that to go up in there. So if you notice, I'll bring it out here and I'll show you guys really quick here. So right here is a bead cap. So you use a piece of beading wire, not the wire that I showed you here. It would be like a 18, 20, or 22 gauge wire. And you create a loop. And then you have a longer piece that comes up and then you loop it here. So you could use, I should try this now that I think about it. I probably use this one here to create the loop that's going to go up inside of, I can use that tool. I should try to do that. That's going to go up in here. And then you're going to use, like, you can either use the one-step looper or the round nose to create that loop at the top. And then you just add the chain to it. It takes, like, once you have this all picked out, less than 10 minutes once you realize what you're doing and get it to go. It'll take like 10 minutes to do that. I think you are being ghosted, Miss Jade. Because I haven't seen one since you said it was pretty. So now I've got to be like, okay, Jade, what were you trying to say to me? Or everyone. I don't know. It's called TikTok. What I was going to say earlier is TikTok has an update. I did do it last night. I did not see another one today. So just to let y'all know, TikTok does have a date. If you want What do I want? And that was really weird. My music stopped playing for a little bit, and all of a sudden it started playing again. Oh! Yes, there was one last night, and I did it. So that was what I was going to show you tonight for tutorial night. I hope you guys found this information beneficial. It was literally that when we have our tutorials, I've been giving you snippets of it, and I just literally, when I was thinking about what we could do for a tutorial, I was like, I have not put it all, pieced it together so that you had all the information. So that's why I wanted to do this tonight. Any of you that are new here on TikTok, we do record our tutorials and our chat nights. And if you go to my CJS logo, you get to my bio, and in the bio there is a Linktree hyperlink. If you tap on that, go all the way to the bottom, and that is where my YouTube is at. If you want to go do that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, and after the lives, it takes a little bit of time, but they will be posted out there for a replay. So anytime I'm live with any type of tutorial or any chat nights, starting at the beginning of this year, I've been putting them out on YouTube, and you guys can watch those. So it made it easier once I figured out if I went live on both devices at the same time that I could do it there. So, jeez, and it's about done, Cindy. That really stinks. So yeah, if you want to watch the whole thing, because I went through all the tools that I use and the different types of stringing material. And I probably did not hit all the stringing material because I just thought about if you're one that does the stitching, you use Nymo thread for that, and we did not talk about that. So there's lots of things that we could probably expand on it and do some more on it, but I didn't make anything tonight. I just talked about all the different tools and stringing material so that I happen to use. I didn't go through all of the stringing material, but a lot of it that I use on a day-to-day basis when I do create. And like I said, you'll be able to watch it here after I got it when it gets uploaded. I figured out a way to make it easier to upload. And so by the end of tonight, we will be up there. So, and tomorrow night, I will not be live. I did let everybody know a little while ago that I won't be. Buttercup is having a concert tomorrow night at her school, and we're going to her concert. I get to be Oma tomorrow night. So I thoroughly enjoy my Oma time. So I'm going to go see her tomorrow night. So I will not be live. I will be live on Friday. I will be live at 8 p.m. with jewelry, and then 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. in the afternoon and at 8 p.m. at night. And both times will be jewelry. Well, I wasn't going to sell anything. Tomorrow night was going to be a chat night, so you would have saved pennies anyway, Miss Jade. And then Saturday, I will go live at 11 a.m. All my times are Central, so everybody knows Central time. So I'm going to go live at 11 a.m. Central on Saturday. Joya gave my idea for that one. We're going to do memory wire bracelets on Saturday. So I'll teach you guys how I do my memory wire and do those. I will let her know. She'll be excited. She misses you guys. So that was part of not last weekend, but the weekend before. She didn't want to leave because she was helping me package up your guys' orders. And there were people that she didn't know that she was packaging up their orders because I've had a lot of new people here since they moved out. And she's like, I miss doing this. I miss coming in and talking to you guys. So she really does miss you guys. Who would have ever thought a little girl would just love going with her Oma to talk to you guys, not coming on camera, but off to the side. But she really did enjoy it, and she loves packaging your guys' orders. Just makes me go, oh. All right, I'll let her know. But Saturday we'll do the memory wire, and I'll record it so that anybody who can't be there on Saturday will be able to watch it at their leisure. So that is our plan. I'm going to go put that plan out there. I know I'm a little bit late, but I just literally did not know what I was going to teach. And that's why I kept not putting it out there out on Facebook. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And I will see you guys 3 p.m. on Friday. Bye, everybody.